Despite the high levels of campylobacter infection that persists, consumer awareness remains low. What steps is industry and the government taking to address this?
Well, as a sector, so as retailers, we've been working with suppliers not only on reducing the levels of campylobacter on product, but we've also been looking at how we can streamline our messaging as well. So following a review of the types of labels that people use on product, we've identified 4 key messages. So one is, the do not wash statement, so people understanding, and the reason for that is to ensure that you aren't spreading campylobacter around in the home. The separation of raw and cooked foods and the utensils that you would use for those types of products, and also storage of raw meat at the bottom of the fridge. And also washing hands, which is the key message in food safety, and also making sure that you dispose of packaging safely. So we've put all of that messaging is available on pack. It's reiterated in in-store magazines. Some businesses have it on their websites as well, particularly if you are purchasing a raw poultry product or you're using it in a recipe. We try and reinforce that messaging. FSA have run a number of campaigns, so they've run Food Safety Week a couple of years running on campylobacter. I think they also did a cross-contamination, just a sort of food safety check, just to reiterate the cross-contamination messages for consumers as well. So there is some work ongoing. But I think it's just very important that people employ those food safety messages, and it's a common sense approach to how you handle a raw animal product within your home.
Following the suspension of the FSA's survey that measures the level of campylobacter in chickens, what needs to be done to effectively gain the confidence of consumers?
I think ideally, if we have to have a survey, I think it should remain within one body. I think having the FSA survey, if it was to continue, puts it all in one place. It's an independent survey. All of the sampling is done at one time, and you reduce a lot of the variables that you get with microbiological testing. As that doesn't look like that's going to be the case, and industry is being asked to publish or make available its data, I think what we will need to have is a clear set of criteria on what types of things we should be testing, sample numbers, and also a proficiency scheme for the laboratories that will be doing the testing, just to ensure that results are as comparable as possible.
So, how do retailers plan to work with poultry processors in the future?
Well, there's a lot of good work that's gone on for a number of years, so this is way before the retail survey happened. Both retailers and poultry processors had already started to look at Campy and what they can do to reduce levels. There have been a number of interventions that have been put in place, so there are things like sonosteam. People have looked at what they can do on farm as well, and that work will continue. There's definitely a commitment there to keep that work going and to reduce the numbers as much as we can, bearing in mind that campylobacter is a naturally occurring bug, which does seem to predominantly colonise in chickens.
Elizabeth Ando-Kesson, Food Policy Advisor at the BRC, thank you very much. I'm Noli Ginkowski for Food Manufacture.